the shepherd, so saith the flock. Charge it to the game. So if I may just give out a few nuggets, as I learned over the past 30 years, it would be truly appreciated. So to my junior sailors in the audience, you are a steward of this institution. You must lead by example. You can take charge of what you control and what you earn. At this moment, it is how you carry yourself as a junior sailor. Don't allow other junior sailors to dictate your future. If you're hanging out with somebody doing illegal, dishonest, and unmoral things, you need to find yourself a new shipmate. Find yourself a new friend. You need to find yourself a hobby. Go to the gym and do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Keep what you earned. I learned early in the Navy there are two types of pains in life. Two types of pains. There's discipline and there's regret. In the Navy, you learn discipline. 1, doing what you're told to do. 2, being where you're supposed to be. 3, learning your job, learning your skill, learning your trait. 4, just care. Care about yourself, care about your shipmate, and care about your ship. Take this discipline. It may be painful in the beginning, but over time, it will somehow make you better, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, for regret. You have regrets when you don't conduct these things I just spoke of, and you find yourself doing the things, the illegal, dishonest, and unmoral things. You find yourself kicked out of the Navy, probably locked up, living on the street without a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Thinking to yourself, where would I be if I just listened? Listen, Linda, listen. Listen, Linda. Now, with pain, which one are you willing to deal with? Do something today that will make you proud tomorrow. For my wardroom in the audience, thank you for being present. Please continue to trust the Chief's mess. In my travels, I've met many naval officers that have been burnt by a chief and would not, shall not, communicate nor have faith in the Chief's mess. The Chief's mess has been around for 126 years and counting, and all chiefs are not the same. I'll tell you that right now, they are not. However, many of them need you as much as you need them. You all need each other because our junior sailors cannot be great without both of you. Remember, officers run the Navy, but the Chief's mess make the Navy run. Mission first, sailor always. Now, for my brothers and sisters in the audience, the Chief's mess, you didn't think it was going to get away. I got you. Respect and dignity goes both ways. Say both ways.
Both ways.
AC/DC. I'm just saying. My mother-in-law, oh my God. Your role as the chief is vital to good order and discipline in the mess and in and around your command. It is essential to have professionalism, and it is the basis of what we do as chief petty officers. It embodies the core value of honor, courage, and commitment. What sailors do on a daily basis, how they represent our country, and how they represent the Navy is a direct reflection of you. Remember, you too were in those shoes, and you needed a chief to get you where you are today. Junior sailors need a leader. Shipmate, they need you. Yeah. Show them what right looks like every day, and not whenever you feel like it. A good friend once said, the people we surround ourselves with raise or lower our standards. They either help us to become the best version of ourselves or encourage us to become lesser version of ourselves. We become like our friends. No man becomes great on his own. No woman becomes great on her own. The people around them will help them be great. We all need somebody in our lives to raise our standards and remind us of our essential purpose and challenge us to become the best version of ourselves. Say ourselves. Ourselves. That being said, I would like to personally thank a few people that I've surrounded myself with that made me better. I stood on the shoulders of giants, and these men and women have helped me become the Master Chief I am today. And those were anchors in and throughout my naval career. Now, if I don't call your name, it's not on purpose, but then again, it probably is. I'm just saying. This is 30 years of iron sharpens iron. So, to the gentlemen I grew up with, Jamie Williams, Verl Brewer, Melvin Fields, Michael Johnson, Eric Arnold, Julius Dean, Jonesy, Sean Larry, all G5C. Not a fraternity, not a gang, just a dance group. Thanks for being my anchor. To my U.S. Orderline crew, George Frazier, Anthony Williams, Shopper, Hooyah, Derek Edwards, Brown, Parker, and Bo Ward, thank you for being my anchor. USS Dale crew, Micah Cross, Tillman, Ronnie Lott, and of course, Ron Mylan in the back. He introduced me to liquid lunch. Thank you for being my anchor. My N24 basketball crew and Nick Tams Lent, Craig Harris, Chris Chaplin, Reggie Seals, Tico, Slim, Rob, Jack, Poole, Big H, Doc, Smooth, Gerard, thank you for being my anchor. For the ones that jumped from a perfectly good airplane, fast roping the 10 SIR training with me, my JCU crew, TT, Terrence Clay, Rich McAllister, James Key, Mike McCants, Francis Herb, Brentley, Thompson, Kerr, and Sergeant Major Williams, only because he told me I was getting capped to E6 and to keep it a secret. Thank you for being my anchor. During my time in Millington, it was due to Marvin Taylor, Jarita Kearns, T.I., Cunanan, Rob Bass, Jeff Bryant, Miss Jackson if you're nasty, Lil Chris, Mr. Sullivan, even the Golden 13 we made chief 2005, Quincy, Q, L.A. Randall, call him suspect, and Lieutenant Commander Ernest Parrish, which told me to piss or get off the pot when I was struggling to make board for Chief Pettios in 2004. I made chief in 2005. Thank you for being my anchor. For my NIOC Georgia crew, flying over Iraq and Afghanistan, boots on ground, plus running the CFL program, it was Charles Grady, Chris Sharon, Pat Fusler, William Richardson, Dennis, Jack, JD, Matt, Vic, Coley Cole, and Angela Wakefield. Thank you for being my anchor. While on board the USS Harry S. Truman, it was Flea Kemp, of course, Phil Bishop, Sticks, Castro, Hall, McCrae, Don Kerr. Thank you for being my anchor. While at NCTS Bahrain in the Middle East, it was Francis Vargas, Peterson, Fair, Lee, Barner, McCrae, and One Officer Puckett. Thank you for being my anchor. And for my last duty station, it was the entire triad. I truly appreciate it. And to include Combat Systems Bay and my IT family, I wouldn't ever forget you. Thank you for being my anchor. Now for my loved ones and my immediate family. For those of you who don't know, we talked about it earlier, but there's a bow and a flower up here for my mother. She passed away February 2018, right before my wife and I came back from overseas. And that was one of the hardest things I had to endure in life. Her death was unexpected and she was called to God. Now, Mom stood about 5'1", full of mental toughness, resilience, and a woman who loved the Lord. She would sing, "His eyes is on the sparrow, and I know he cares for you and me." She would sing that song in church and around the house all the time. She never worried if something was wrong with me during my time in the Navy. She would always say, "Baby, no news is good news." And when she talked to me on the phone, she would always ask about my wife and children, just to know in her heart that I was just fine because God was watching over me while I was deployed. She worked 3 jobs to ensure my brother and sister and I had clothes on our backs, food on the table, and a roof over our head. She worked as a waiter, a cook, and in a factory for 35 years, standing on her feet, working 10 to 12-hour shifts, putting gadgets and gadgets together on a conveyor belt. I thank her for giving me life, but I truly thank her for kicking me out of the house. Yes, I was in the kitchen eating up all the food, running up the phone bill, sitting in the house sucking up all this AC. But after a few run-ins with my stepfather at the time, she came into the room and said, "Baby, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the hell up out of here." Woo. She said it with a calm demeanor and such conviction. From that day forward, we had our trying times, but I truly believe, without a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't be standing here and have completed the things I had if she had not made me leave the nest. For that, I thank you, Mom Dukes. I know you're truly proud of your son, and I thank God that you're in a better place. Woo.
Come on, Pop. Come on, man. It's all right.
Now, I'm going to show you how good God is. So my two, Elizabeth Leonard, that is my mother-in-law, I must admit, I was unsure how our relationship was going to be. But from the beginning, you opened up your home and your heart to me like I was your own. And I'm blessed to have you in my life. You were always supportive, compassionate, and kind-hearted, even when I needed it the most, when my mother passed. Like I said before, thank you for giving Alicia life. And thank God for blessing me with one of his angels on this earth. Because many times God will put a person in your spirit and you're not sure why. But this case, Matu, I believe it is for the ones you and I lost. And we cannot get them back, but we can slightly fill the void. I became your son-in-law, and you became my Matu. I thank God for you being in my life. I thank you from the bottom of my heart that thank you for loving me like your own son, because I love you like my own mom. I truly love you. Thank you, Matu. To my children, unfortunately, Kavan, he's unable to attend. He is currently stationed in Japan. Yes, United States Army. Yeah, it's an upgrade from the street corner. So I'll take it. Thank you, son, for loving me, and thank you for your support while you currently defend this great nation. Thank you for being my anchor. Jasmine, thank you for everything, and I know it was hard because you had to move and move and move and move from one school to the next. I love you and will always be my favorite daughter. You have truly made me proud, and if it wasn't for some of those late night sessions jamming with Jasmine, with your mom and I, those good times got me through a lot of the rough days and long nights while I was stationed overseas and deployed. While I was deployed, I remember those conversations with your mother. You always had a questioning attitude. You had a different way of looking at things. It was always enlightening to see how you contemplate things about society and culture. Plus, you and your mom would always talk about me like I wasn't in the room. Him downstairs. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be that male role model for you, showing you how a man is supposed to treat a woman. This is how I treated your mother. Now, when you find that man, he better be just like me. I'm coming to see him with that Nina. I love you with all my heart, little mama, and thank you for being my anchor. Kendall, K-double, North C. Well, man, yeah, that's me. Wow, you have truly made me so proud, son. Truly. I'm just in awe every time I think of how you've grown. During this time in the Navy, sheesh, I remember, the sun's up, Dad, the sun's up. Come running in my room, and how I learned the solar systems, and because of you, I know the 9 planets. I know, right? Thanks to Blue's Clues. When I look at this grown man talking about, what's up, Dad? You have weathered the storm, and now you don't have to worry about me leaving again and not knowing when I'm coming home. I love you with all my heart, and thank you for being my anchor. Now, to wifey. Woo. Yeah, buddy. So, my baby, my ride or die, my eastbound down, roll 'em up and truck it. We gonna do what they say can't be done. Man, I'm telling you, this meat is you. All right. We have truly made it around the world and back again. You took a chance on me, and if it wasn't for my love of motorcycles, we may have never met. Bike Week 2002, wow. Infamous words, it will be my will and pleasure. Funny, TT told me on the ride back, yeah, Terrence Clay, hey man, just make sure you call me when y'all get married. I'm like, boy, stop. Who would have thunk it that we meet in South Carolina, but we both lived in North Carolina, but lived in the same city and practically lived down the street around the corner from each other. Who would have thunk that? And hooked up and was married 4 years later. That's crazy. The more I pushed away, you were on my mind, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. It's a phase. She be gone by next year. Well, 17 years later, we still together. You have truly made the ultimate sacrifice. You gave up your job over and over again, your career and your life, to move every time the Navy said it was time to move. No real words can tell you how special you are to me, because you made me better. A better man, a better father, a better leader, and a better husband. I know I would not be standing in front of this crowd of shipmates, friends, and families if it was not for you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Even when I don't show it, I love you more than my hands can reach. Thank you for being my rib. So, got through that, boy. Yeah, buddy. Sheesh. All right, so before I step down, and because of my Master Chief bald-head assassin fashion, the last time, if I could get my present and past Chief Petty Officers around the room to stand, just one time. Can you stand, Chief Petty Officers, past and present? Some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. But can I get a cheeseburger? Cheeseburger! 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 I like mine with lettuce and tomatoes.
I like mine with lettuce and tomatoes.
Heinz 57 French fried potatoes.
Heinz 57 French fried potatoes.
A big kosher pickle and a Coke glass beer.
A big kosher pickle and a Coke glass beer.
Designated drive, get me out of here.
Designated drive, get me out of here.
Navy Chief.
Navy Drive.
Navy Chief.
Navy Drive.
Navy Pride.
Navy Chief.
Navy Chief.
Navy Drive.
Thank you for attending my ceremony. Thank God for the United States Navy, and God bless the United States of America.
Stand by to pipe the side. Shipping. Go in the ship.
Aye, Master Chief.
Piping the side is very brief. It consists of Master Chief Hill walking between two rows of side boys and saluting as a boatswain's pipe is sounded. Do not be misled by either its brevity or simplicity, although it is short and uncomplicated. This ceremony is deeply rooted in hundreds of years naval tradition and is considered by most to be the single most important event of a sailor's career. Being piped ashore signals the beginning in the transition from the familiarity and the brotherhood and sisterhood way of life in uniform to an unfamiliar and unknown life in civilian clothes. As Master Chief Hill walks through the side boys, he will, in a short distance of about 10 feet, complete the path linking the past to the future. And it's a path of hundreds of thousands of seafarers from all navies of the world that have walked over the centuries. Soon he will step to the head of the side boys and go ashore for the last time, never to sail on United States Navy ships again. Before this, I ask you to pause and remember that Master Chief Hill has been on duty in the United States service of our country for 30 years. Now, it's time for us to stand watch. Will all the Chief Petty Officers, past and present, man the rails.
Side boys, attention. Cover.
Will the guests please rise for the presentation, the certificate of retirement, and the
Left,
benediction.
right, face.
Certificate of retirement from the Certificate of retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America To all Master Chief these president's greetings. Greetings. This is to certify that Master Chief Information System Technician 5 C.Hill, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Navy on the first day of November 2019. Signed, Vice Admiral, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Master Chief retired. Also, will now deliver the benediction.
Father God, we thank you for truly inspiring and blessing this ceremony. We pray as our brother enters into retirement that he will continue to seek your guidance in all facets of his life and be led by you so that your light may continue to shine through him and others may see your great work. As this chapter in Caesar and Alicia's life comes to an end, we pray that you continue to bless their path. We thank you for this day and many more to come. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to departing, Master Chief Hill will report to Chief Warrant Officer Brady and request permission to go ashore for the last time.
Sir, request permission to go ashore.
Permission granted.
Time orderly. Strike 2 bells. Master Chief. Surface warfare, aviation warfare, information warfare, naval crewman, parachute jumper, Caesar R. Hill, United States Navy, retired, departed.
All right. See.
Oh, yo.
Got a good shot it up. So I got a good shot it up.
All right. Come on. Thank you. You come back.
We got to watch it.
Time orderly. Strike 2 bells. Retired Navy, family, departed. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the retirement ceremony on behalf of Master Chief Hill and his family. I would like to thank you very much for taking part in this time-honored ceremony. You are all cordially invited to a reception that will be held tonight at Tyson's Landing Amenity Center, located on the address on your program tonight at 1900.